Alright, welcome back everyone, Zaf here. Let's cover some of the most important mistakes people keep making over and over again that will impact your account. You do not want to make these mistakes. It will nerf you seriously when it comes to your power, when it comes to your overall results in the long run. So make sure when it comes to your Armory tab, you do not want to use your marks of time, the hourglasses, to unlock these nodes here. No, don't do it. Use your essence. I know you'll say, well, Zaf, essence is so rare, I'm free to play. No. Even if you're free to play, unlock these nodes here using essence, but later on, you can choose between marks of time or essence. That's up to you. These slots here do cost a ton of essence. We're talking thousands and thousands, so make sure in the beginning, always use essence, but later on, towards these slots here, you can choose between using essence or marks of time. You will get more power, honestly, in the short term, and even in the long run, unlocking more wards, doing more boss battles, doing harder content. It is much better. And also, when it comes to upgrading every single slot, do not do it all at once. So don't go to your plum, for example, and upgrade it all the way to 7. That's not the ideal method. You want to make sure everything is leveled up evenly. So +1, +2, +3, +4. But once you get to the 5, 6, 7 mark, make sure you upgrade from 6 and into 7 immediately. It is the cheapest upgrade to do so. When you go to 1 to 5, that's fine, but when you go to 6, make sure go to 7 right after. You want to make sure to always go to 7 ASAP once you have a 6, because the cost, I believe, is 30 compared to the original 50 cost, so much cheaper. Make sure you do that. Another common error I always see happening over and over again, inefficient uses of your resources. And really quick before I forget, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is not supporting us for free on Netmarble's credit program when it comes to solo leveling your eyes. That way, I can send you a bunch of codes. Once you support us, you go to your My page to the top right here, you scroll down. After 24 hours, you should see under receive benefits a bunch of codes. Right now, there are 5 codes available, so if you support us, about a day later, you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 codes for mana power extract and also essence stones, weapon design, so make sure you don't miss out. Very important, it is free. You're missing out if you don't support. And also really quick, a big shout out to Igris for Soldier for being the first comment to our last video. Here is your shout out, and enjoy that juicy exclusive Discord role. Speaking of inefficient, are shadows as well. A lot of you make this error when it comes to upgrading your shadows in terms of growth. Make sure don't do this. For example, as you can see, this shadow is in the red, this shadow is in the gold, which is fine, right? Gold 3, but if we go down here, we have some inefficiency, which is not ideal. I upgraded to red because I was testing something, but in your case, never ever do that. Always upgrade your shadows at the same time, so everyone's growth should be the same. It does not make a difference beyond saving your resources. As you can see, for example, this is how much power we gain. We can say it's around a 1000 power increase from 334 to 335, but if I jump into, let's say we have Serbi here, if I upgrade them, you can see the difference is actually far less, so make sure do your shadows one at a time. It is a much better result. That way you do maximize on your power, of course, and also when it comes to upgrading your shadows overall, make sure do not upgrade certain shadows when it comes to getting their ranking up. Right now, when it comes to Serbi, you just want to, in the early game, unlock them. For this bonus here, you don't really gain anything else when it comes to upgrading Serbi. So that's why it's always recommended to upgrade Igris, upgrade Blades, upgrade Big Rock, preferably do Igris first, then Big Rock, then Blades, in that order, to maximize on, yes, the Shadows Authority. Those are your best shadows for the Authority. But when it comes to unlocks, you want to get Igris, you want to get Serbi, you want to next get Biru, and then you can go for Big Rock, for example, get the skill damage in to your basic skills. That's the ideal loadout. Also Iron 2 for hunter modes. So Iron, Serbi, and Biru, you can unlock all these shadows here. You can decide though which one you want to go for. A lot of you will have Min starting out, and Biru's passive does not stack with Min, so do keep note of that. You do not want Biru if you have Min early on, so you can say you want to get Igris first, then Serbi, then Iron, then you can get Biru, or focus on upgrading Igris and then get Big Rock. That's the ideal loadout. Don't just start getting random shadows, that's not good. Your army level will not get capped out early on, so that is a very common mistake I do see happening time and time again. Do note that, very important. And also a mistake I do see happening, unfortunately, is where you use your essence on your custom draw. It's not worth it. You could make the argument for weapons, but I don't recommend it. Rate up tickets are the only thing you should be using your essence on. Super duper important. These tickets are not easy to get. Customs do come in more frequently. As you can see, we have a ton, but rate up tickets, yeah, these are not easy to get. Only ever use your essence for this right here. The only other time you should be using your essence is, like I mentioned, the armory, or when it comes to random shop offers that are cheaper than converting your essence to 250 for one summon. Do take note of that. Anything that comes in a shop when it comes to essence for summons is always worth it. Those are generally during events, so make sure you do that. Make sure you spend your essence responsibly because, yeah, as you can see on my whale account, it is not easy to get. And some additional things I do want to mention are, when it comes to event awards, such as the ones you find in inventory, like these ones here, they do always expire. So that is an issue I do see people doing. They ignore the dates, and when the updates do hit, well, these expire and you basically lose out on a free SSR Hunter weapon, which does suck. I've seen it happen a ton. It's happened to me, so make sure you do not make that mistake. Once you have the boxes, they're fine. They don't expire, but event rewards do expire, especially certain game modes where you do get rewards like the Battlefield Time. These awards right over here, let me jump in and show you. If we go to ranking, these ones right over here, if I can find it, in achievement awards, I believe. Let me hop into Blades, there we go. These here, season currency again, the icons there. These will expire, so make sure you always take note of the dates here. Basically, every single update, before it hits, make sure you go through your inventory, very important. Check what's needed, check what's expiring, check what resources you might need extra of, and also, event modes, always check them. Sometimes, for some reason, the icons don't show up, notifying you, well, you need to do something, Zaf, you're missing something. Make sure, always check them. Always go through them. There'll always be something you're missing, especially for modes like this, Lucky Clover. For some reason, again, it doesn't pop up on the main page, so make sure you check every single day, making sure you get all those juicy awards because these do add up. They are very important towards your progression, especially these here. Always claim them every single day. Multiple times I jump in for missions, I check them, okay? Did I complete them all? Did I claim them? Always needed. These are some of the best events in the game, getting you, like I said earlier, a free SR weapon, a huge must. Now that should be the general tips I wanted to show you. When it comes to summoning using rare tickets, do note, you do not have to summon for every single hunter, but you may find later on, these hunters become very viable and you lose out on their weapons, so do note, when rate up summons do come in here, you want to make sure you definitely don't want them. You lose a lot of value in your tickets, but in the long run, it is generally better to save, but in the short term, you do lose out on potential units you'll be using, so it's a very tough question to ask. There is no one right answer. You can save, you can spend, you can always go for one copy, get their weapons, be ready for the future, where you can summon them in custom draws. It's up to you. Just plan accordingly. Don't summon blindly. That's a huge waste. Again, these tickets are rare. Even the custom draw, make sure you make your rate up list towards hunters that will actually benefit you, like Thomas Andre, Yuso Hyun, Malin, Gogan Hee, Mirai, all these hunters here. You could go for your favorite hunters if you like, sure, go for him, but he's not really going to benefit you in the short or long term, so make sure, follow tier lists, follow builds, that way you know exactly what hunter to summon for. But on that note, that should be everything I wanted to cover. If you enjoyed, of course, drop your like, make sure to subscribe, that way I do know you want more content like this. On that note, this is your Code King Zaf, signing out.